The docks of Compass are open to you.
Head into my safe house.
Yeah, I said into his safe house.
Oh, wait, before we leave the ship, Jet's gonna hesitate and say, I don't think I'm gonna go like this. And then she turns for your eyes into a very, very handsome looking half elf.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So you remain in the same clothes.
Yeah, she
Oh, he's pretty.
she
The unisex clothes, okay?
took off her dress, and beneath it she has a pants and a shirt.
He's
Okay.
very pretty. I enjoy him.
Still look in a second.
Bo! It's Bo.
Wanna smile at
Wait
everyone.
1 second. I have to go put my clothing upstairs, and then I'll be back in just 1 second. Sorry.
Cress is, by the way, still looking around for help for paying Iceberg.
Varian said he would.
Okay, then Varian, let's just take it out of his
would
pocket.
love to help, but I have made plans to buy something that I really need.
Okay, that's fine. One of those, and she points at Serenity and Rakesh and Varian.
I look at Serenity.
Is gonna help me.
He needs money.
I was gone for like 2 seconds. What happened?
Money then.
What?
You've been
You should go get
volunteered
some
to help
money.
pay for the ration.
For Iceberg.
That's fine. Varian already said he would.
Okay.
How much do I owe you?
He said 5 gold.
Okay, assume I give that to you, and I'll edit my sheet in a minute.
I'm gonna climb up to the crow's nest before we leave.
You see Aranel standing on top of the crow's nest, tightly wrapped in a blanket.
So, you're back from the dead?
Yeah.
What are you doing up here? Shouldn't you rest a bit more?
I'm just looking. Feel a lot better.
Well, you certainly don't sound better.
Yeah. I'll be fine.
Okay then, Cress is just gonna give him a bump with her fist, a friendly bump, and it's gonna clamp down
He
again.
immediately crumbles. No, I'm kidding. Okay. He nods towards you as I'm back.
So, everyone ready?
Yep.
Yes.
What's the last thing said?
Everyone ready?
Yes.
And let's go into a new adventure!
Woo!
Yeehaw!
End screen. No, I'm kidding. You make your way along the very, very long dock of Compass. There's all manner of ships out there, really. Two of which kind of seem like they might also be pirate ships, with their flags down. But who are you to judge? You make your way.
Are there also many Iron Fleet ships?
Very, very large gates.
Are there also some Iron Fleet ships?
Why don't
Shit,
you
I did make that
roll
promise,
perception
didn't
for me?
Don't. God damn it.
That is a natural 1.
Thank God. Make promises when you're hungover, kids.
No.
What are you doing now?
Sinead.
Fucking hell. Um, what was your last question? Sorry.
If there were any Iron Fleet flags or
Roll for
ships. So.
perception.
I rolled a natural one.
Oh, well, looks like occasionally, like some of the flags maybe could look like the gray flag of the Arab Republic, but you're really unsure. It's kind of hard to tell. It's still very early in the morning, and the docks are in the shade of the city.
Hey, Varian.
Ah.
Do you see any Iron Fleet ships around here? My eyes are, I'm not that good in the dark.
Crest.
Yes.
We'll burn them on the way out.
Yes, but you have to know where they are and have to make plans and think about stuff and preparations. You're not just going there and burn them.
Does Varian see any Iron Fleet ships?
Why don't you roll for perception?
Don't make promises while hungover.
I mean, at least he remembers it. The natural 20.
Oh, well, yeah. You see a couple of Iron Fleet ships. They look more like the smaller kind, probably like scout class ships, similar in size to yours. On the very far right end, the docks. You also notice that they are all docked together, which makes your ship look kind of weird for docking so far apart.
Oh, don't see any.
Oh, that's sad.
Maybe we'll see some on the way out.
Yeah, and she just follows the group.
Yes, now let's very nice and covertly go to my hideout and not draw attention to ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, and Cress looks at the group. I don't know if that's so easily possible. We are...
What do you mean?
I don't know, we look not the kind of group that can walk through a city without getting the looks,
Will,
It's a matter of how you hold yourself.
So where are we right now? Where in town are we right now?
Where the Markite.
Yeah, at the docks right now.
You don't
can I
need to
just,
disguise yourself. It's not that
Oh.
big a deal.
Okay.
No. That's not what he meant. He's just like, don't draw unnecessary attention.
Fair enough.
I can do that.
It's the safe house for a reason. Oh, and probably don't expect too much.
There are some we don't.
You open the door to the safe house, and there are swathes of gold everywhere.
Please.
Well, you step through one of the very large gates leading from the dock to one of the main streets of Compass. In front of you, you see the 5 towers in the middle of Compass. And in front of you, you see the market district. You are currently on the main commerce street of Compass.
So, Jet, or whatever your name is now.
Forgive me, I have not introduced myself. I'm Bo.
Go!
Oh, like the weapon?
Oh,
No, like,
Word for beautiful.
Well, makes sense. So you wanted to buy something.
You need to go to my place first.
We're on the main commercial district.
It's a time thing.
Okay.
Yes,
You guys
let's
can stay
do
in
that.
shop. I'm heading to my safe house.
Well,
Shouldn't we accompany you? Yeah.
let's just all go together where we can come back and shop.
Yeah, it's not like we're on a tight time limit otherwise, so we can go with you.
Okay. Sorry, it's a for other people.
No, it's fine. I guess.
You make your way through the main street. Wares and merchants beckon you from every corner. Even some unsavory people lurking in alleyways. But you make your way to the inner circle, which leads around the inner wall. And I guess you are heading straight towards your safe house. Here?
I mean, he may take like tours in the sense of like drawing up attention, just like not like
Okay.
obvious precautions, just like the regular safety precautions.
Well, you keep looking over your shoulder. Why don't you roll for perception?
That is a 14.
You forgot how paranoid it can be being in such a large city. Occasionally, you think you are being followed by a person only for that person to then disappear into the next alley. Maybe just taking the same road as you. You make your way through a few of the side streets of Compass, through the labor district, and into the right, where your safe house lies. Nothing out of the ordinary seems to be about your safe house. The door's still firmly closed. It's kind of a rundown house, but it has been that for a long time.
Well, let's go inside
Okay.
for
I'd
my
like
shit.
to one look around before we go inside.
Roll for perception.
For fuck's sake. Yeah, that's 9.
Seeing as you are in the residential district, you see a lot of people leaving their houses, heading off for the day's work, but you don't see anyone particularly interested in your coming and going.
Okay. That's fine.
You open the door to your safe house and you come into an empty room. Dusty cobwebs hang in the corner. And in front of you is an old fireplace. You have 2 stashes in this room. One is behind a brick in the fireplace, and one is beneath the floorboard.
Go for the fireplace one first.
Looks kind of boring in here.
Very
Safe house. It's not supposed to be
homely.
comfortable.
It stinks.
Yeah.
Could
Okay,
you
so
please give me
safe.
a roll on intelligence?
Me?
Yeah.
That is. Hear me?
Huh? You're kind of cutting off.
Oh,
Hello, hello?
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 Yes.
Okay. Yes, hello?
Oh, hi.
Probeer wel
Hello.
op een
Hello?
verslag komen. Ja.
Kind of breaking off. Hang on. Let me switch the server.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Sounds better now.
Well,
Okay. Well, you reach your hand into the fireplace and remove one of the bricks on the inside and pull out a small metal box.
Oh, you have secrets.
That's kind of nifty, though.
And in the box,
Inside the box, you find one lock-picking toolkit,
Oh, nice.
or thieves' tools, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, thieves' tools. You also find an old lock that you used to practice on, and some simple parts of a forgery kit. It is incomplete, but it's leftovers from your work.
awesome. Okay, let's hit the one beneath the floor now.
You pry open the floorboard, but as you go to look for the stash beneath there, it was filled with a few rations, some rope, and a bag of gold. You notice that, well, the money is missing. The rest is still there, but somebody must win.
I probably needed it more than is my ship there.
It is.
Okay. Let's get that's not stolen. Yeah, Varian pulls out some stuff and very religiously as he pulls out like this tiny or not tiny like this smaller like bottle ship. Gone.
Oh, you heavy little ship.
Yeah.
Did we see what other kind of stuff you pulled out there?
Oh well.
Yeah, like rope and shit. It's just rope and shit.
I mean, from the first stash.
Oh. Sure.
Crest just looks interested and curious, but doesn't say anything.
Are tools of the trade.
I see.
Right. No.
How many people use this?
A safe house specifically?
Yeah.
And it was mostly me before, but you know, be away for any amount of time and it's up for grabs. Probably stole. I had some gold here, but it looks like someone took it. Probably needed it more than I did.
Oh well.
Honestly, safe house is a safe house.
Alright. Okay. How far is Serenity Refresh's safe house from here? Not that far, right?
Pretty close.
Yeah, okay. So, when you're done here, we might as well go over to our place.
It's like everything in the safe house, right?
Yeah.
And Charlie's like, I'm good.
Okay. Serenity.
Uh-huh.
Guess where we're going?
Go home.
Yeah, we're going home.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go to Jet and say, I'm really interested how this home is gonna look like, to be honest.
Better than this one, trust me.
It's a very nice home.
We take
Very
care
excited.
of our places.
Mm-hmm. And ourselves.
And
I'm
just
sure it's lovely.
shakes his head.
Okay. I'll walk out the safe house and lead the group in that direction.
Yeah, you make your way straight through the streets towards a safe house you once called home. You stand in front of the familiar building that familiar door.
Okay.
What does it look like? Is it nice?
Well, it looks a little nicer than the place you picked out, but looks like it will also attract a bit more attention.
Ow.
Yeah, I'll go inside. I want to try and go inside.
You swing open the door and you are met with chaos.
Oh!
The books you had on your many shelves lie
Oh.
on the floor. A lot of the drawers and doors are just thrown open, stuff lying on the ground. A thin sheen of dust has settled on all of it, so it must have been lying like this for some time. A lot of loose feathers and broken ink pots on the floor as well. Someone must have been here.
Did Rakash just open the door, or was it locked before?
It
No, he
was
just
not
swung
locked.
It open. It wasn't locked.
Okay.
Swung it open.
And Crest just shakes her head.
What a
No wonder if it's not locked.
Well, this is fucking.
what a nice
No, this
place.
is not how. Who the fuck has been here?
We're wanted by 3 Hawk.
Fuck.
Oh shit! You're. I'm gonna turn to Serenity. In Infernal. Because this is for no one else but her. Let me get the thing.
Ha!
Oh, you're finally learning. I'm proud of you.
He's definitely learning.
Yeah, you are.
I'm gonna have it. Obviously in Infernal. This definitely wasn't you guys.
Oh shit, my head.
I mean, no, it could have been. She's part of 3 Hawk.
We don't understand you!
No, you don't know what we're saying.
It feels unlikely.
I know, but okay, right.
We still don't understand you.
Yeah, I turn to the rest of the group. Sorry. Apologies. I'm gonna go inside.
Varian just looks around like, that's a lot of books.
Yeah, I told you I read a lot. I'm gonna turn to Serenity. Serenity, look for anything that is missing, please.
I'm gonna run upstairs and check there. Do we have an upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna run upstairs.
Okay, I'm gonna check everything. I want to see if anything's missing or if there's anything actually still, like, if there's anything new there.
And I'll do the same.
Yeah. Anyone else who wants to look around for anything strange within this mess is welcome. I know you don't know the place, but it definitely should not be like this.
Varian, I'll give it a shot.
I'm just gonna look through their stuff to see what's all here. Because I'm
Well,
curious.
you see a lot of books on the floor. Some of them seem like simple research books. Some of them seem to be more, well, darker in their subject matter. Rakesh, please give me
Lisa!
an investigation
Telephone!
roll.
Sure.
Telephone.
No! That's a with my modifier. That's so. Wait, guys. Wait. I can fix it, maybe.
No.
Do I want to use it? I don't.
Do it!
Should I?
Good.
Probably.
I want to fix my roll with my inspiration.
Do it.
Please be.
Yes!
Oh, that's good.
That's a 25.
You notice a couple of books missing. One of them is a peculiar one. It's used to be a. You can't remember the contents fully, But you remember it was a children's fable about two siblings. It was. You remember vaguely that it was like animal siblings. You can't quite recall. You don't know why anyone would take that one.
Okay.
There is also most of your stash of unwritten spell scrolls is raided. You do, however, in the chaos find a few level 1 unwritten spell scrolls, 2 of them to be exact. Most of the books that are missing seem to be regarding rituals or expeditions into the Foglands.
Oh. Okay. Is there anything else that I see that's out of the ordinary or missing anywhere on the bottom floor?
You remember that you had a small pouch of the soul dust that you once used for a thing. You notice that that is missing. May have been just because it's obviously a valuable thing,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe there was more behind that.
Okay, and that's all that's missing.
That is.
I see. Okay. Is there a letter anywhere?
There is a couple of letters strewn across the ground.
Okay, I want to pick them all up.
You are in the possession of a bunch of letters.
I'm going to take one of the darker topic books and show it to Varian. This is
Well,
certainly some interesting topics around here in the books.
The book you're holding up is directly related to blood magic and talks at length about how blood is the currency of the soul.
Arian's going to look at that book and be like, reading it?
Sorry, what did you say?
Talking to Cress.
Oh.
He quietly asked Cress if she's planning on reading it.
This looks to be about blood magic, and I try to stay away from magic, and if it's blood magic, I try to stay even further away from that.
I have the book.
Sure.
Wait.
She hands it over.
Arian's gonna take the book.
You have a book.
Bo just starts cleaning up.
Baron's gonna look for other books with topics that seem relevant.
Do I see him doing this?
Kind of be sneaky.
I mean, yeah, he's not doing it stealthily, I would assume.
I mean, he waits for Rakesh to not be looking at them.
I mean, Rakesh is in the room, man. He's picking everything up.
Wouldn't be distracted.
I would go over there as well, though, to actually pick books out myself. So
I think it really matters. If Rakesh notices him having the book and is like, hey, what are you doing? He might be like, can I borrow this? And then they'll try to steal it if you say no. Getting this book.
Dorian, what are you doing?
Looking at your book. Said you wanted me to read.
Which one are you looking at? He walks over.
Something on blood magic.
He looks at it. Actually, that might be quite useful.
You're with us.
I want to look for any books in my possession regarding blood magic and demonic entities.
I was just about to say Varian's gonna look for books like that too.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
you
like
do
that.
notice the book Varian is holding
Ah,
in
yes.
his hands, but please give
I
me
gave him permission for that
a
one.
perception roll.
Okay.
Both of us?
No.
Oh.
Well, if you're also
What do you say?
looking,
Yeah.
well, Rakesh, you know the kind of books you used to have, and you notice that a few of the books from more respectable authors, for some reason, seem to still be there, and the books that seem to have been from people who've been rambling mostly seem to be missing.
Okay.
Very-
Varian, you see a couple of demonic related books on the floor, and
Stuff's looking for stuff relating to the Avalon Sea.
you well, give me an intelligence roll, please.
Mm.
That's
Well,
a 9.
you see one book in particular that touches on myths of the Avalon Sea. It's called The Voices of Gods. And interestingly, it talks about how few of the gods supposedly can still be heard in this world through various instruments. The book is very vague about the subject. It goes in detail about an expedition into the Foglands and talks briefly about few magical instruments that have been heard of in the world. 3 of them in particular were bells and 3 horns as well. But the book itself does not give any detail
It's an
on the
important.
nature of these instruments.
I'm gonna pick up some of the books I haven't read that I think are important, and I'm gonna stash them in my bag.
Varian will take the. Varian will show Rakesh the Voices of Gods and the demon related books and be like, these two.
Okay, I will take them. Put them in the bag.
It looks like you're getting your wish. Guess I will be reading.
Okay. Serenity, how are you doing up there?
How am I doing up here?
I don't know. What are you looking for?
Anything I would recognize, or anything weird.
Well, you notice that your collection of knives is surprisingly untouched. You notice that on one of the windows you find a few scratches as if it has been pried open at some point. But other than that, you don't really notice much chaos, not as much as it was downstairs.
There's nothing really special up here.
Is anything missing?
Not that I've noticed.
Well, look again.
Okay. I'll look again.
Yeah, you then, you look around. Please give me a perception roll.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Surprisingly, there's really not that much missing. On one of the beams across the ceiling, as you are underneath the roof directly, you notice that one of the small bags of gold you stashed up there is also still there. So whoever went through this room has not been as thorough.
Nice. I'm gonna throw something up there and get that gold down.
Okay, what are you going to throw up there?
I'll take a knife and I'll throw that.
Okay, please give me a knife roll.
Knife roll.
Knife roll.
Oh shit, where are you going? I.
Well, the first knife hits the ceiling beam right in the middle. A hefty thunk, and the knife sticks in.
How high up is it?
You'd need to stand on somebody's shoulders to comfortably look over that beam.
Okay. Varian!
Calling for the smallest of all of them.
Varian!
Oh, he'll go. Sorry. Go upstairs.
Varian pries himself loose from the book. It's upstairs.
Rakash is just organizing his books downstairs.
His Varian Figure will be like, "What's up?"
Can you, like, get on your hands and knees? Like, right here.
Tempted to make a horrible joke, but what's going on?
You can make a joke, but can you get on your hands and knees?
Yeah, why not? I'll do it. This is a bad.
And she'll step on him.
Okay, yeah. What I expected to happen today. Yeah,
Me neither.
you can now reach up to the bag and take it.
Awesome. How much gold is in there?
Six gold.
I'll just step off Varian. I will grab my knives and head downstairs.
Rakash, have you read all of these books already?
A good majority of them.
So that's where you've learned about magic?
Yes, for the most part. Books.
So can you use basically all the magic that is in here or just part of it?
No, it's not quite how it works. You have to be... So, when you learn magic the way I do, unlike Serenity, who just kind of has it pop into her head, you have to study these kinds of books, and then you have to find a way to write it in your own scripture. So basically, you have to translate it into your own shorthand, and then find a way to conjure with that. It's really complicated.
Okay. DM, what does Compass think about magic?
Well, magic is sort of a gray market item in Compass. If there's any any larger city where you could trade with magical items without immediately being prosecuted, it would probably be Compass.
Mm-hmm.
However, even here, being as it is a free city, mages are not particularly protected in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who would go hunting for mages would probably have an easy time in Compass to hunt for the mages.
So what if one of the city guards would see a collection like this, just theoretically?
Well, it depends on the guard. They might try and make an extra buck and sell that information. They might report it to the Iron Republic if they are inclined to help the Iron Republic in any way. Or they might simply not care, confiscate the goods, and move on.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the question to Rakesh. So, what if this is not very secured looking to me? What if the guard or someone else would find out about this? Isn't
Well,
it
no
dangerous?
one's meant to know, that's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not really hidden.
It wasn't an issue.
Okay,
Like, no one could have fucking just walked into this place.
was there a spell guarding it, or why would you say
No,
that?
it's just, you couldn't, that's not, it was safe, put it that way. We haven't ever had a problem before.
Okay,
There's only really one person that knows we're staying here, and I have no idea where the fuck she is.
was she staying here too?
No, she wasn't.
Who is she?
Just a woman we know.
Just a woman. Good to know, I guess.
When Varian gets back downstairs, he'll look at. So, I'm assuming stuff was taken.
Yes, it was.
Stuff?
Hmm?
Was it magic stuff or magic related stuff?
Ah, let me think. There was a children's fable taken. I have no idea why. My spell scrolls were raided, which was just amazing, you know.
Okay, well, so and kind of deeply sighs, he's like, magic items are really popular now for people in my to distribute and steal and all of that kind of stuff. I'm thinking maybe we could check with, or some people, see if anything that was taken came up.
Okay, but
Did
it's not that magical. I don't keep actual magic items here.
really smart.
And I don't know why my... So, I have a lot of books, as you know.
I didn't notice.
And a lot of them are from very respectable authors, but I like to collect things that are unique as well. From smaller people who are just kind of crazy. For some reason, a lot of them are missing.
Oh, you can still check with people? Like, what do you mean books by people who went crazy?
There
About
are
what?
a lot of people who write books just to ramble. They just ramble and they ramble and they ramble, and it makes no sense and it has no point. And those books are missing. Also, Expeditions to the Foglands. I had a lot on that, and it is gone.
Aaron raises a brow but doesn't say anything.
I hate being robbed.
I know, me too. Who the fuck knew we were here?
You'd be surprised what people know.
Maybe just a bunch of thieves saw that no one entered or left the building for
No, there's
quite some
quite
time, so...
There, trust me, they would have taken it. It's quite valuable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are the books valuable too?
Not particularly, no. There's much more valuable books here.
Does Varian know if the type of books he's talking about would be valuable on the black market?
It always depends on the content. There are a few books written by obviously not as famous people who might contain knowledge that may be valuable to the right kind of people. So you wouldn't doubt it that a few of these more independent books may have contained something worth to someone.
Okay. Well, Varian might butt in when he's like, no, they're not valuable, and be like, it depends on who's buying. Anything's valuable to the right people.
I just don't get who would have known that I had this here in the first,
Like I said, information is its own currency.
I swear to God.
Do you like books too, Jed?
Someone ask me something?
Yes.
Yeah.
do you
I was talking to my sister.
do you like books too, Jed?
I'm not Chet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you like books too, Bo?
Sure. I like books about adventures.
Do you have some of those too, Rakesh?
Probably.
We should take them with us so you can read them, Jed. Bo, I'm sorry. Bo, of course, Bo.
Oh, if you don't mind.
I guess Rakesh won't mind, will he?
No, it's fine. You can take them. I'll be bringing some too anyway.
Looks like we're all gonna
Thank
be.
you. How nice.
Okay.
Reading circle.
The letters I picked up, I want to skim through them real quick, see if there's anything important in them.
You just in general, something important?
Yeah. Is anything important that I might need to know?
Well, going through the books would probably take you
Not the
a lot
books,
longer.
the letters.
Yeah, just the letters. A lot of the letters are from Geneva. However, most of them are old letters, the ones that you've read before. Typical vague messages, but nothing out of the ordinary or particularly new. You don't see a new letter.
Okay. I'll still put them in my bag. So whatever she may have left has been taken unless it was her.
I don't think it was her.
You don't think it was her, but it could have been.
I don't want it to be.
I know. Me neither.
Arian once again just raises a brow at Rakesh but doesn't press for information.
I'm just gonna stop for a second and think. Okay. Because this is concerning all of our lives, I guess I will explain this. There was one other person in Freehawk who knew where this place was.
No, it's someone from Freehawk. The lady you mentioned before.
Yes, her. She is the only other person who I know knew about this place. So maybe I do think she ratted us out. I don't know.
Why would she?
Well,
Would
she
she have
doesn't.
reason to?
Doesn't, that's the thing. She really does not have reason to.
How well did you know her?
Ah. Quite a while.
How long? How well?
I mean, we knew her for a good few years, I think.
How long? How well?
How well? Not well enough.
It doesn't matter how well you know someone. You can't trust everyone.
Just anyone.
No one.
Well, Liz.
Trusted her. Well,
We'll fix it. Have a name?
Geneva.
So, next course of action then? Should we look for Geneva or should we look for my people?
You won't be able to find her. Probably easier to look for your people and see if any of them have seen her or any of the stuff that went missing here.
We can do shopping when we do this one, he says, looking at Poe and Co.
Apologies, Bo.
No need to apologize.
Okay, so how would Varian know the best way to locate Sandai?
Well, to be honest, looking for Sendai, you wouldn't even know where to start, really. There's so many places in Compass she could be, like random taverns. She could be on a mission, you just don't really know.
You're gonna have to go for the ones you don't want to.
No.
Or we just have to find someone who knows stuff about the city at the moment, where someone might be.
Yeah, would Varian know anyone who might know who's active criminally?
Well, there's a couple of traders that would probably know. Some of the fences would definitely know. But you know that many of the fences would also probably be inclined to not give you that information, seeing as you are not on the Three Hawks' best side at the moment. Maybe you don't really
Yeah.
know yet. Maybe it is worth checking out.
We might have to go visit Marius. Okay, I'm gonna give a plan. You're gonna tell me if this might possibly work. Like, mechanically and shit. So Varian's kind of plan for finding Marius is a kid in the, like one of the street kids under Marius and like paying the kid to convince Marius to come meet him. That way he doesn't have to like go to their hideout and act and like risk letting authorities know where they are.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably work.
Okay, let's try that. I need this information. Cool, that's what we're doing.
Need to find me a child.
Oh, oh
Oh,
god.
God.
Stop it. Never say that again.
Okay, so where are you heading?
Where would be the best place to? What is this?
Well, if you're looking for street urchins, possibly pickpocketing people, maybe the market district would be
Oh yeah,
the best
let's
bet.
Mhm.
do that. Cool. Varian will be like, well, let's go shopping.
And I'm gonna keep a very good look on my money.
Okay, so you are all heading towards the market district then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Beggar, I'm also looking out for the stuff I wanted to buy that I told you beforehand.
Well, yeah. Coming into the market district from the inner side, you do go by the more nicer stores first, as the not so nice stores are probably closer into the alleyways on the side. You do see a couple of jewelers who could possibly have what you're looking for.
Hmm.
Oh, I should sell my shit while I'm here.
I'm going there. I'm
You
also
see
trying.
Cress heading straight for
Mm.
one of the.
Would you excuse me for a second? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Are there any street kids in the vicinity right now?
Well, it's very busy. It's why don't you roll for perception?
Nat 20.
Well, you definitely do see between the ever-moving crowd flashes of the odd child. However, you also notice that some of them are eyeing you suspiciously, as if they know that you are very, that you are scanning the crowd. The fact that Cress, for example, is constantly keeping her hand on her pocket, maybe keeping them away more than it would be getting them to
And
try
trying
something.
to detach from the group. Or secluded or alley-esque area. And if he catches one of the kids' eyes, he's gonna like look towards that way. I like signal them to go that way.
Directly signaling them to go into the alley with you.
Like,
Okay.
not like, be like, oh, go this way, but like, he catches their eyes and he looks.
Yeah. Follow the man into the dark alleyway. Sounds like a good idea, little kid.
You're my favorite, and I love you the most.
Okay, well, let's do Cress first. You are looking for items. And you do see a bunch of them hanging on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You see the jewelry you were looking for as well.
Oh, this is nice. I'm talking to the trader. Well, how much is that?
The very, very freshened up woman behind the counter looks at you, sparkling eyes, and she immediately pulls out the pin you are talking about, puts it on the table, and with a very, very wide smile, points her finger to the price tag, which reads 10 gold.
Hmm. Maybe we can have a deal here and I'll take out the 4 stones I just found earlier in the crate and show them to her. Would you be interested in buying these? You can make nice jewelry out of them.
As you put the stones on the table, her smile wavers for a moment, but she looks at you and says, "Just a moment," and walks into the back of the shop. After a couple of minutes, a very broad man approaches the counter and looks at the stones, holding them up in his hands and looking at them close. Where did you find them?
I found them in a box
In a box.
on an island.
What, like a treasure hunt?
Yeah, I'm an adventurer. I found things on my travels.
He squints his eyes for a moment and looks back at the stones. 4 of them? You have any more?
Fortunately, that's all I have.
I can give you 20 for the lot of them.
20 what?
20 gold.
For all of them?
Or in trade, I guess, the pin you wanted and, well, if you take stuff from this store, you can have 15 gold's worth.
So he wants to give me the stuff I want plus 15 gold?
Well, 15 gold if you take stuff from the store worth 15. It's basically in-store credit he's offering you.
And if I just wanted to sell the stones plus the stuff I wanted to buy?
Just the gold would be 10 gold.
For all of them together?
Well, for now, it's only the brooch on the table. Well, not brooch, the pin. The other stuff you've not had on the table.
No, I mean the money I get for all the 4 stones, I get 10 in
20.
20. So 5 per stone.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Chris has no idea how much worth these stones are, so sounds like a good idea. I would trade these plus. Yeah, I like this one, and she points at the item she already chose, and I would like to have one of those, and she points at the other thing.
Yes, the other thing.
The other thing.
Okay, you have the 3 thing.
It's just 2 things she wants.
The 2 thing. Was it just 2 thing?
Yes.
Yes, 2 thing. Fine.
Okay, so do we have a deal?
Yeah, sure. And he holds out his probably very sweaty hand towards you.
And I grab it and shake his hands.
He grabs the stones. He doesn't even really look at the items on the table closely. Just shuffles back room. And the smiling woman comes back out with a slightly crooked smile. And steps up to the counter. Anything else?
Oh, that's all. I'm waiting
You are-
for my money.
She just smiles at you.
I smile back and just stare at her.
Anything else?
My money.
What money?
The money that guy just promised me.
How much money was that?
He wanted to give me 20 gold for the 4 stones I gave him.
Oh, sure. And she gets out a small bag, 20 gold coins. Puts it on the table.
Thank you. It was nice making a deal with you.
She looks very confused. And the smile is completely gone from her face.
She's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna look at her and grab the money and the stuff I bought and just gonna leave, I guess.
You are out on the street and Varian. You subtly try to tell one of the kids to meet you in an alleyway. What are you doing next? You just going there? Could you repeat that? I don't think you. I think you cut off a little.
It's just waiting.
In the alley?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, couple of moments pass. Few moments too many, you think, when near the main street, kid looks around the corner into the alleyway, but does not seem to make any motions towards moving inside. He just
No way to
looks
make
at
this not creepy now. Good job, guys.
So yeah, Crest comes back. Where's Varian?
Sure. Varian, really creepy. I
She
don't
asks
know.
the others where Varian is because she doesn't see him.
Varian's trying to get some kids to follow him into an alley.
Oh, that sounds not creepy at all.
Varian will
Creepy.
approach the kid slowly and do they run away or do they wait for him to like get closer? This is so I hate all of them.
Well, there's just one kid and he is still on the busy side of the street. So for now he just
Well then Varian will pull out some money.
Excuse me, Marion?
Are you sure you want to pull out the money and not the candy? I'm kidding, I'm sorry.
Look, I have money. Follow me.
Oh god, this is so bad.
This was literally
Well, as you pull out
any of you brought this up.
your money pouch, the kid squints his eyes at you. But he does not seem to move any closer towards you.
Child, I'm trying to save your goddamn life. I swear to God.
When you're trying to save a child's life and he won't let you.
Why would it be in danger?
I haven't unlocked that level of tragic backstory yet. Until you get there. I'm gonna wait a few moments, and if the kid's not doing anything, he's gonna go out and find a smarter kid. I hate this. I want to die. All of you are the worst.
I haven't done anything wrong.
This is perfect. I love it.
I feel disgusting.
Oh my god, look how tall my tower is.
Oh, wow.
No!
You do also have the option of approaching the kid not in the alleyway, as it is
I mean,
waiting
that
on the
works
busy
too.
street.
Let's do that.
Well,
I was
as
trying
you
to do it covertly because I feel like people seeing a guy randomly paying a street urchin would be weird, but that's fine. Fuck it.
yeah, you are still in the opening of that alleyway as you approach
Who
that
needs-
child, and the kid looks up at you, and you notice that around the corner behind him is another kid. Uh, very surprised at you coming out into the street. But you are now standing in front of him.
If I choose to use thieves' cant to talk to them, do I actually have to be horrible and like ununderstandable, or can I just say what I mean to say? And
I mean, you can just say what you want to say.
okay, so using thieves' cant, Varian's gonna ask them if they know Marius.
The first child turns around to the other, and for a few moments they look at each other, and one of them nods at you.
I need to talk with him, but I obviously don't want to lead any possible authorities back to your hideout, so if you could. Is it so? How well does Varian know Marius?
Decently well. You've met a couple of times, and
Would Marius know
he's
where
been
Varian's
friendly to you.
house is?
Probably not,
Okay.
as
Well,
he does run sort of an intelligence network. It would probably not be the smartest idea to let him know where you keep your personal stuff.
it isn't personal there anymore.
I mean, yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It's not a good idea. For a common meeting place for people like them.
Well, as you stand there debating where to bring Marius, one of the kids runs off and the other beckons you to follow.
This is a terrible idea. Let's do it.
Please give me a perception roll.
How I die.
And are you telling the others that you're leaving?
If he can catch one of their eyes, then yeah, but he's not gonna like go back and tell them.
Okay, the others, please give me a perception roll.
No problem, Dad.
I die.
Oh, fuck me. I do not see shit. I'm writing in my
That's a non-natural 20.
I'm reading.
I got an 18.
Okay, well, both Serenity and
Natural
Chris.
20.
Oh, Jet as well. You, Jet, notice the two kids running away from Varian. Varian holding up his hand, beckoning you to follow for just a moment, as he too runs off.
While Crest was in the store, can I been in a healer's shop?
Sure. Yeah. You do find a potion store close to the inner market district that probably carries what you seek. So you enter the store as Bo, I assume.
Yes.
You enter a, well, rather large shop that's filled with all kinds of tinctures in glass vitrines along the wall. Potions of colors you've never seen before line almost every centimeter of that wall. And behind the counter, a very short, stout man with a long white beard, waiting for customers.
I approach him and... Good day, sir.
Hello.
I am looking for some healing supplies.
Like what? Like do you need potions? Do you need
A
bandages?
healer's kit. And a herbalism kit.
The healer's kit just called healer's kit.
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Mm, hum.
and a meth kit, I guess.
A mess kit? I mean, you should probably have a mess kit in your adventurer's pack already.
I
Oh,
mean,
do I
I
have
mean, we
that?
started without packs
Yeah.
because of the ship we
Yeah,
were
we
on.
were arrested.
Fair
we
point,
didn't have
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Yeah, that
yeah,
is
but you're true. Usually there would be one in there, but we started
yeah,
without one.
yeah, that's a really good point. God damn it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
almost like I just got thief tools, and that's why.
Yeah, I was like, that's why everyone is buying this stuff right now. That's why I bought an instrument for or something like that.
Okay.
So it's like that's why Rakesh gets kicked down.
Well, you can see the man rummage through some wares under the counter. He's visibly upset that you're not interested in his many potions. But after a few moments, he puts a small pouch on the table, a leather pouch that contains the healing kit, and a wooden box that would contain the herbalism kit. And looks at you grimly and says, "We don't carry mess kits."
Ah, how unfortunate. Thank you, anyways, for young too.
That'll be 15 gold.
15.
15.
Alright. Sure, I give him 15 gold.
Okay. You feel a little ripped off, but regardless, you take both the healing
Okay, no,
and
can I try to negotiate the price?
Okay. Do you want to haggle and make the check easier, or do you just want to roll?
Want to do what?
Huh?
What was the
Come again?
first option?
Well, if you try and actually haggle, like give arguments for and why you would like them cheaper, I might make the roll easier if you have well argumented case.
I'm so good at that.
You can
I
just
believe in
roll,
you.
fine too.
You're brilliant.
Look
You
at
got
Bo,
it.
he's so
Want to
beautiful. He
haggle?
can use his handsome face.
That should be the
Just
reason I'm too pretty to
smile
pay
at him.
this much.
I really need this for my friend. I we have a very sick person on our ship. Sadly, I can't afford that much.
Well, why don't you just get him to a hospital then?
Well, that would be very expensive too, wouldn't it?
Oof. God.
Okay, roll for persuasion.
American healthcare system here.
20.
Right?
Grudgingly, he pushes 3 gold coins back towards your direction from the pile on the table.
Sure. I smile at him with big puppy eyes.
Yeah.
It's gonna help
Yeah.
so much.
Takes the 12 gold and returns to polishing the glass vitrines on the side of the wall.
Back to how I
Cue
died.
back to
Like,
Varian running after 2 kids.
Oh, they're not good.
You just guys, be cool. Don't do anything horrible.
Look, Varian is going. We have to follow him.
Let's go. Wait, Varian's going somewhere?
Yeah, he's chasing the kids.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
No,
Oh, no.
no. Well,
No.
I just owning you as my friends.
I would like everyone to give me another perception roll. You can keep up,
Oh,
Everyone, including
11.
me.
including you.
Oh, that was a 6 for whoever.
That is a 9.
that is a 15.
A 19.
Well, you know, your memories start slowly coming back to you. How you've rounded through these streets before, and not losing sight of the kids, you do manage to follow them without a problem. And while Cress and few of the others occasionally lose sight of Varian, Rakesh, you are very focused and you do not lose Varian. The kids bring you to the one of the side roads towards the Shadow Market,
I'm gonna get jumped. That's fine.
one of the more unsavory places in Compass.
We're all gonna get you.
However, as you run into the open area of the market, you see a familiar halfling standing in the middle by one of the many fountains. And as he looks up at you, you see recognition in his eyes as they widen, and you just hear, Varian, what the fuck?
And then he sees him getting followed by 4 suspicious people.
Approach.
Well, as the 4 other people bound after him, his hand moves towards his dagger immediately.
Oh no.
Yeah. Varian will first of all sigh heavily because he expected them to know not to follow that closely, but that's fine. He'll sigh and he'll hold his hands like, it's fine. And he'll like walk towards Marius. He's like, they're unfortunately with me.
What the
You mean
fuck happened,
fortunately.
Varian? You know how long you've been gone?
Thank me. It was not intentional. I'm assuming Marius knows a bit about Varian's past and the whole issue that happened a few years ago.
He would.
Yeah, Varian's like, was set up again.
He
Again?
rubs his face in his hands and sighs. You do realize that you're in Compass and you're on the grey list.
I realize. Innocent? That means shit, I know. Maybe you know something or someone knows something that could help us prove that we're innocent.
Well, of course I know something. I've been looking into it ever since you left.
That's because
My
you're
eyes and ears have been everywhere, but it's unfortunately well hidden. Listen, you're gonna have to talk to Treehawk. There's gonna have to be a trial, or you're going to be on the grey, or worst comes to worst, the blacklist.
kidding.
I guess we all know what the grey list is as members of Three Hawk.
The grey list is basically excluding you from any of their acquaintances and contacts until things are sorted out, and you're either whitelisted or blacklisted.
I mean,
Blacklisted
the
is-
plan.
Blacklisted means you are basically cut off from all Three Hawk support and up for grabs should any, bounties be on the table.
We're already up for grabs, man. It's
It's
fine.
Varian rubs his face, stressed. He's like, "No, that what am I supposed to do if I get blacklisted? Half of my contacts are fucking 3 Hawk, and those are the ones that I know about."
I know. That's why I'm saying you have to do the trial. Look,
I mean, wasn't the plan to talk to 3Hawk anyway, Varian?
I can send word. I can delay it by few days if you need time to collect stuff, talk to the right people. My eyes and ears haven't been getting very far, and he nods towards the two kids, and one of them holds up his hand and says, "I'm Eyes."
Are those the names of the two?
Shakes his head.
Varian will shake his head, but he'll also pay the kids.
There's a
2
couple
gold
of
pieces.
things you can look into. I've been looking and hearing things. One of them is important. Your handler, he's not been seen since that day at all. Then there's the circumstances of the protective detail itself. The way I hear it, you were supposed to protect someone who should have had his own guards anyway. So what happened there?
Who even was it?
Regarding his death, apparently, I mean, what kind of person was it? He must have been important. I've tried to get the autopsy report from the coroner. Ran into a wall there. It's all things you can look into.
So you know about Marion. Where was he last seen?
Well, I mean, if he gave you the contract, you're the last people who saw him.
Great.
Right. You wouldn't happen to know about anything like a bounty that has been put on us, right?
I'm not. Varian, who is this?
Hi, my name's Rakesh.
Yes,
He holds out his hand.
I assume they're the crew that was with you.
Mhm.
Not that I know. Freorg has been quiet. There was the, word passed around you're on the grey list and that the mission that you may have, betrayed Greyhawk, but Freehawk, but it's
Greyhawk.
nothing like there's a bounty for you. I mean, you're not on a blacklist yet. There shouldn't be any bounties.
People came after us.
Yes, they did.
Who?
Pirates. But they were contracted by 3Hawk. So
Oh, you know.
It was like Drogus or something.
I don't think I know that name.
Doesn't matter. He's at the bottom of the ocean. Who's active still in the city that might? Anyway.
Of your contacts?
Yeah. Anyone who might be willing to help us.
I know Sunday has been around, but she's been with the upper echelon recently, so I doubt she's easily findable.
She ever?
Aravel is still around, still as cutthroaty as ever. Haven't seen that Kenku fence you always went to. I haven't seen him in the last few days. I don't know where he went.
Alright, and some other more personal stuff. You've heard anything from... where she is right now?
Could you repeat that? Because that
Okay, do you know anything about where Amela is right now?
Last I heard, she was seen on a ship. Don't know more. Been keeping my head close to the ground, but I haven't been hearing a lot of things. There's something going around. I'm not sure why. People are nervous. The guard in particular.
What do you mean? What's going around?
I mean, could just be, regular corruption, but the guards are nervous because of rumors of Iron Republic ships. I'm not sure of the details. It's not
Right.
really been in the focus of my operations.
Things. Have you heard anything about her books by crazy people? Rakesh,
What do you mean?
what are
Yes.
they about?
More than the usual?
Okay, let me explain. Have you recently heard about anything kind of weird going around books wise? There are a lot of things about demons in them, possible expedition books, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Would have
Well,
been all
it's not
just of
really
the
in
same
my focus, but I can try and have my eyes and ears look for them. What is there any time frame we're talking about?
Like when they were taken.
Like since when they're on the market?
Mm, well, was there like any way I could have got a feel of how long that shit had been there? Like you said there was dust over it, so like was it a few months?
Probably not less than a couple of weeks, but
Okay.
probably around the time you actually, you know, were taken from Compass.
Okay, so probably at least a month. Okay, at least a month old. I don't know exactly how long.
He nods absent-mindedly.
Uh, Also, you haven't heard anything about safe houses being raided, have you?
Well, the safe house you met Omarion in was given up. It's just empty now, but no, not that I found.
None apart from that. Also, because I need to ask, do you know anyone named Geneva?
I. Most people here know Geneva.
Okay, so do you know where she is?
Well, seeing as she's a specialist, I'm not sure if we or you are privy to that information.
She is going to be the fucking death.
We'll get her.
Okay. Well, if you
thanks.
see her or if you know anyone who does, tell her.
Various. Oh, by the way, if you see black boxes or red powder, get the fuck out. Touch them.
Get the fuck out of where? Compass?
City. If black boxes show up here, you leave.
He seems to make a note of.
There's some weird shit going on, and there's a few cities that have lasted well and have been under attack by something, and there were black boxes, and there's also this red dust.
I've heard of the red powder making the rounds.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how would pirates get their hands on bullets? I thought those were like high
At
up.
the mention of blackstripe bullets, his eyes narrow. What do you know about blackstripe?
Our crew was shot by one.
By who?
One of
Pirates.
the pirates that went after us.
Yes.
Which is why I'm wondering how the hell they got their hands on them. Top tier IR
That's
level
what
shit.
I heard. That may be worth following up.
Yeah.
That means someone with connections hunting you.
No kidding.
Could the woman have been connected to the IR, or not the woman, excuse me, the person? Like escort be connected to the IR? All right. Well,
Well, you've got yourself in quite the barrel of shit there, Marion.
yep. Yeah. If you could delay the trial of 3 Hawk by as much time as you can to give us time to find anything, I'd appreciate it. But also, you know,
First I have to send them word that, you know, you're back and have not abandoned the city, I suppose. Could be worth something.
it'd be better or worse if it were one of us instead of all of us.
Well, seeing as you are accused as a group, it's probably better if you're all there.
Yes. We're all fucked. Okay. Well, we'll try to find anything. Wish me luck.
No, Marion. If anyone can get himself out of this, it might be you. Best of luck. I'll keep my ears to the ground if you need to find us, I suppose. You know, just walk around, we'll find you.
Right. Thanks, Marius.
I'm giving the children a silver piece each.
They
Got
immediately
double
grab it, no questions asked.
Got double paid. Adorable.
Yeah.
That's cute.